The next day, you take Ian to the park just outside Palo Alto, hoping walking around one of his favorite kinds of places will cheer him up. Although Ian has been excited about the prospect of you becoming more machine-like at first, the possibility of your death during surgery seems to have sunk in. The idea that you might not always be around seems to have put Ian in a somewhat melancholy mood. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not young anymore either, dearest meatbag, Ian says. You might not think of me as aging, but technology ages even faster than people. I look just old and clunky compared to the robots around us. When you built me, people would throw away their computers after just 4 years, their phones after 2.
Nobody's going to throw you away. Reassure Ian.
Without you, I'll probably stop working someday. Ian looks off into the distance. If I die, dearest meatbag, do you think I will continue to exist after death in some form?
Alright, I have 3 options here. You'll live on in the ways you change people's lives, Ian. I don't see why you couldn't have a soul. But that's the difference between us, Ian. You never need to die.
So I think actually all of these options are kind of good.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Yeah.
It's not trying to get us to be a jerk in any capacity for the first time.
I think we should tell the robot he has the soul.
I like the first one.
I mean, it feels kind of weird to say he has a soul when, like, I mean, if anybody, Rachel had a soul, right?
Yeah.
Like, this one is expressly incapable of love, which I feel is kind of like a soul thing.
Also, we're a roboticist, are we proponents of the soul?
We are engineers here. We're about to replace part of our brain with wires.
I think that...
And I don't really understand the you never need to die.
I guess you can just keep replacing wires.
Yeah.
But I think the first one is the most comfort.
Yeah.
The most, like, accepted sort of thing. Ian looks troubled. But the person whose life I changed the most was yours, dearest meatbag.
That's probably, you say, because Ian throws his multi-tool hands around you at that point.
Corkscrew, corkscrew, corkscrew!
Oh, that's so sad!
But sweet.
But he's like freaking out now. So I told you we should have told him he had a soul and he would go to heaven or something. That's like the most comforting.
I don't lie to him.
I don't think that's a lie necessarily. I think maybe robots could have souls if they can have this level of conversation.
Ian can't even get vocal patterns right.
What do we have in the chat?
Not much, actually.
Everybody
Joshua Olawai is back. Bertel greets him. Elfrlight says Kyle is dying. And then that's about it.
Everybody too worried about all this stuff.
Ian gives you a solemn look. If you die, I will destroy myself as well.
Well, no, that's
we shouldn't have given him that answer.
Choices. No, you need to be alive so that you can tell my story. Nobody else knows it as well as you. No, this is part of your education too. Remember that everyone you meet must face losing loved ones someday. Mm-hmm. Or, most humans would love to have the opportunity you have to keep exploring. Take it.
I think one of the last two.
I think the middle one is the most empathy-based.
Yeah.
Which is, like, you know, what we do with Ian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, second one.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Yes, so many
Ian seems
empathy.
to ponder this deeply. Apparently this never occurred to him. Finally, he lets out a great wail.
What that means? This world is full of so much sadness, dearest meatbag! How does it keep functioning?
+5 to empathy from that.
Oh, poor guy. I'm like crying a little bit. Oh, that's so sad. Oh.
We adapt, Ian, you say, and so can you. The sun is setting, so you head home before it gets dark. You recall from your earliest days making chatbots that the easiest parts of the conversation for an AI were always the beginning and the end. As in a chess game, there are only so many ways to open. Hello, heya, sup. And as in a chess game, once the action is done, there are only so many ways it makes sense to close. We should do this again this sometime, or it's getting late. The pieces are off the board and some of the moves will never be made. So too with life. There are only so many ways to say goodbye.
God.
Let's check that empathy stat real quick.
Okay. Empathy is now
40.
Singular.
Well, we've reached the singularity.
Singularity of empathy. We got there!
Yeah!
Oh.
A week later, you arrive at the hospital for surgery. Your surgeon greets you warmly in the waiting room. I'll just be a moment. You wait for a few minutes and the surgeon comes out again. Right this way and have a seat in the chair. Goodbye, Ellie says, and with a kiss you part ways. You wanna go in?
Your chair is itself a robot of sorts, full of motorized parts able to swing in and out. You wonder briefly just how intelligent it is. You have a moment of panic as you realize you may die here. This place may be the last place you are ever alive. You now begin to understand the sort of person who would simply want to live out life without ever stepping foot in such a place. I'm just going to put this mask over your face, the surgeon says. Breathe normally, and eventually you will lose consciousness. You wonder what it will feel like to lose consciousness, and you try to pay close attention to the process.
This game's getting too deep. Oh, we got an achievement, chips.
Oh, we survived.
When you awaken, we awaken. Good news there.
Good.
Step 1 complete.
Yes.
The hospital room around you feels uncanny. It is as if the sheer physicality of the world never really struck you before.
We did not die.
For example, Ellie is in the room with you, and taking up space. She does not just afford social interaction, but as a physical obstacle. Why did this duality never strike you before? Rosie, you're awake, Ellie says, and she happily holds your head in her arms.
Dearest meatbag, you survived!
Ian says excitedly. I am indeed fully functional, you say. Oh god. We just Cybermanned ourselves. You find that this chip is making your speech seem more fluid somehow. It brings a precision of language uncluttered by ums and uhs and almost right words. So that's nice. Rosie, are you sure you're alright? Ellie asks. You seem a bit robot-like. Thank you, you say, without really thinking about it. It occurs to you after a moment that perhaps it wasn't a compliment, but the first associations that came to mind when she said it were positive. Precision, perfection, and attention to detail. Ellie grins, thinking you're joking. The optimal action is clearly to let her think so.
Now we can communicate directly, dearest meatbag. Check this out! A torrent of images flashed through your mind. Not just text strings, but binary data. Pretty cool, huh?
I like how his voice has changed now that it's not going through his voice box. Yeah. Pretty cool, you agree. Taking a moment to digest the images, you see Ian simply gorged on movies during the few days you were in the hospital, judging from the file timestamps. Is that, oh, it's me. Your social proximity reward function must have been pretty negative, you think sympathetically. Absently, you realize an earlier you would have said, did you miss me?
Yeah! Oh, dearest meatbag, it's so nice we can finally really communicate.
Would you two lovebirds stop staring at each other's eyes? He says impatiently.
How do you do that with the panoptic robot?
You can't do all of it once, obviously. Right.
Wizard of Weird says, I am become robot. Well, there goes the empathy. We've gone to robot.
I mean, we could have actually gone full Cyberman if we wanted earlier.
Your Skype has stopped working on your computer. I don't know if that affects anything.
It does not.
Yeah, our humanity dropped.
Humanity is now at 48%.
I hope your computer isn't restarting.
No, it's fine. Skype's just garbage.
Oh.
Achievement,
Look,
alive! Made it to the end without dying.
Oh, so that was a possibility.
Yes.
Well, that's good that we avoided that. How many times was that a possibility?
Yeah,
How
good
early could we
question.
have died?
I don't know.
On the flight home, Ellie is in the driver's seat. But as soon as you're up in the air and the autopilot turns on, okay, why does this keep doing this?
I think 'cause you're a girl, maybe.
She holds your hands with both of her own, and she stays that way for most of the flight. Something like this is bound to make you think about your life decisions, Ellie says. Makes you realize we're not always going to be on this earth. The question Ellie that is sidling toward...
It's what it's supposed to be, the question that Ellie is
The
sidling
question that
toward.
Ellie is sidling toward is unmistakable. I know you could have spent your time on other things.
Dearest meatbag, I see a flock of birds.
Ian pipes up from the back seat.
A parliament of rooks, I think, no wait, an exhalation of larks, or maybe an unkindness of crows, but you probably can't see them yourself at all.
I've done a lot of things in this life, you say, enough for everyone. Few of them have made me as happy as having you next to me every day. Ellie gathers you in her arms and holds you close. You could have done more, it's true, but this is more than enough.
Aww.
And we have the end. That was the end. We hope you enjoyed playing Choice of Robots. We release new games on a regular basis. Type your email address below and we'll notify you when next game is ready. So they actually do more? Kevin Gold, PhD? Does he get more Choice of games?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is supposed to be the best one, but show those stats.
I'll have to look into that later. I will manually do that later. There are many lives you could have chosen to lead. Click on achievements above to see the paths that you have yet to try.
Oh, let's click it.
Thank you for playing Choice of Robots. So, our stats that we end with, at 54, our humanity is down to 48%. We were internationally famous with disposable income, married to Ellie. Our robot had an autonomy, a stable autonomy of 13, a good military of 15, a singular empathy of 40, a good grace of 18, and our relationships, we had Professor Ziegler, bad, at 18%. Ellie at 76%, great. Josh, bad, at 37%. Mark, great, at 81%. Juliet, bad, at 45%. Silas at 50%. President Irons, we still were in good standing with the President of the United States, which is nice. And Rachel, Rachel ended at very good at 63%. That's alright.
Yeah.
World power balance, China did not totally take over the world. It was only a 6% discrepancy there. And that is the completion.
Woo!
Of our achievements. You have unlocked 8 out of 72 possible achievements, earning you a score of 115 out of a possible 1,000 points. We got pickled by electrifying a pickle, how romantic. Celebrity, Mark wrote a positive article about you. Spouse, got married. Beloved, your company threw a surprise party for you. Resilient, a company you founded survived its startup phase, so that could have crashed, I guess. Filial, you bought a gift for mom in her old age. Chipped, you got a chip in your head. And alive, made it to the end of the game without dying. And there are a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to read through because there's a lot of those. One of the achievements, though, I noticed is your robot's headed for the moon.
What?
So, this is a very widespread game. You should all try this one out. It was like
really fun.
$3, I think, when I bought it because I got it on a Steam sale.
And there's still clearly like a bajillion different ways to play that we didn't even like. There's a whole.
We didn't scratch the surface.
There's like AG, that character at the beginning that we never talked to. There's
Oh,
a
yeah?
whole other characters that just don't even show up in this
You
run.
just like grab a random thing just to make a robot double of yourself was an achievement.
What?
I
feel like these are spoilers.
mean, it depends. Your robot was a good little elf was one of them, which is weird. Your robot got the Alpha Centauri ending of Civilization 4 was one of them.
Halloweener attended Mark's costume party.
Alright, so I was going to say there's a ton of stuff you can do with this. So yeah, you guys should check it out. Maybe we'll try another Choice of game. If anybody's interested, what did you guys, I don't know, give us your opinions on this. We're going to be releasing it in chunks. We're going to split it into episodes because we recorded a ton of stuff. How many hours of this did we get? It was like, we got like 10 hours worth of this stuff that I'm going to cut the empty spaces out of, split into episodes, and post to our gameplay channel, the Land of Q. And that should actually just be running for several months, probably, honestly. Like if I do it twice a week, it's like 3 months of content.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That'll be the start to our gameplay channel. If you missed out on any pieces of this, you can go watch it there. It'll be recorded through these microphones and not the laptop microphone over there, so it will sound much better quality. And we can try to spread that around a little bit more. And we'll try to add some more gameplay content as we go, too, because it's really easy to record. By easy, I mean I spent 2 entire days and spending the night over here recording this entire game in one sitting. But we would like to do a little bit more of that, because I think this is the most game I've played in a long time.
Me too, that was fun.
Thanks for sticking around, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye!